40 miles per hour there. But then you see the little error saying that I'm out of or getting low on battery. So, all right, so got my Avata 2. About to take this guy for a spin to go check out the wonderful hazy skies of the wonderful Canadian wildfires. So let's get this guy into the sky and we'll get going. Okay. Okay. The key for me right now, oops, is not to lose balance. Okay, cool. So, I have it set up. I got the Avata set up in normal mode, regular colors. Only thing I'll be doing is stabilizing the footage in post using gyro flow. So, ready? And we're up. We'll give it a second here to get itself stabilized. Make sure my settings look good in the goggles. Okay, home point hopefully was activated. We'll do a flyby of you guys. There you are. You probably look extremely blurry because I've got a non-autofocus lens on. Got a Helios as my main lens right now. But anyways, let's take this puppy for a spin. And we're off. Okay, so I haven't flown in a bit. The key right now is not to crash into anything and also not fall over, since I am just standing here. One thing to notice on the footage is if you're comparing the goggles view with what I get out of gyro flow, it is a lot more stable from gyro flow. So pro tip, if you want to actually get your footage to look extremely cinematic and stable, you've got to use gyro flow. Ooh, we got trees. Let me not hit those. Been there, done that. Not a fun time. So currently got us in sports mode. So ripping around pretty quickly. Shoot the gap. Ooh. I'd love to be able to take this guy out and chase a car or something. I feel like that'd be pretty sick. But maybe that's for a different day. Okay, let's get out into the woods. Hopefully not crash into anything. Ooh. Taking it straight through the woods. Oh, there's a bird. Okay. Ooh. Nice and run down here. A lot of birds, which makes sense. It is a forest after all. Okay, I want to switch it over to normal mode. And sorry if you guys were hearing the AC unit, it just kicked on. So hopefully noise cancellation on this headphone does pretty well. And if not, then oops, I guess we'll try better next time. So there's the hammock. Got a down tree right here. Nice little zoom flyby there. Let's fly over here. Saw a couple little birdies. I'd assume they don't particularly like the buzzing of my drone. But I'll be honest, after using this drone for about 2 years now almost, the one thing I do like about it is how much control I actually have when running it in normal mode, or even sports mode for that matter. It reacts really well to the controller inputs. I've flown it through multiple houses, and I felt fully in control the whole time. So, and as you guys saw just then, I flew straight through a bunch of woods, fully in control the whole time. Only downside is, if you do happen to not see a branch, you plow into that thing, you might come crashing down. Then again, this drone is very, very surprisingly durable. Let's try to fly through this down tree real quick. Look at that. All those roots that came out. Okay, oh, there's a lot of birds here. The birds probably don't like my drone because they probably don't know what a drone is. That being said, look how smooth this footage is. It's Pretty slick. Another cool thing about this drone is that I'm able to angle the camera down like I'm doing right now. So I'm able to capture more of the ground, which gives that super speedy, super fast point of view. Makes it look like you're absolutely ripping it up. When in reality, I'm just going, how much miles per hour? 10 miles per hour. Not very fast, but yeah. And then you could also do the exact opposite. You can point your camera up, which is what I'm trying to do right now. Look at that. Oh wow, I can go really up. Ooh, that is a unique angle. You don't see that kind of angle from an FPV drone very often. I should probably watch out for tree branches, because I think there's a tree branch. Yep, there's a tree branch right next to me, which I would not want to hit, because it doesn't seem very high, but we are probably about 25 feet up right now. And the last thing I want to do is crash into anything at this height and have my drone fall from the sky. All right, so let's keep on flying. So yeah, having the ability to angle the camera up and down is a lifesaver, especially if you're shooting homes or doing real estate photography and real estate fly-throughs. This drone is definitely really solid for that. I'm gonna keep going nice and slow right above these trees. You can create some pretty cinematic shots actually, which is pretty impressive for an FPV drone at slow speeds. Usually FPV drones at slow speeds don't do too hot, and it's usually pretty obvious that it's a drone, FPV drone, compared to a regular drone. That being said, let's kick this guy into sports mode. And now that we're really high up, you can really start to see the haze from the Canadian wildfires. Let's see if we can spot the sun. Point the camera gimbal upward. And I am not seeing the sun at all, so it's probably not visible. And I just got the error on my drone saying maximum gimbal attitude reached. That's fine. And I'll point it right back down again. We're back to just under 0, which is cool. There's the subdivisions near us. It's just kind of insane how hazy it is. All right, one more cool thing about this drone is the fact that the controller right here has a pause button. So if I'm going crazy, doing something, you know, sketchy, and I lose control, all I gotta do is hit the pause button. And there you see on the screen, it says aircraft braking. So now I can fully let go of the controller. My drone does not go down nor up. It just stands still, which is great because there are times, especially if you're in manual mode, where you start losing control, and that pause button came in to save me. So it's happened before. It'll probably happen a million times again. This thing's a lifesaver. It's great to have. Or even something as simple as click the button and then I gotta go manipulate some of the settings. You know, camera angle looks weird. I forgot to change something. Obviously I have to stop recording to do that, but which I'm not gonna do. But yeah, it's definitely a really, really handy feature. Definitely a huge selling point. Another cool thing about the Avata is the fact that it has intelligent batteries. So as you guys can see in the bottom of my goggles view, I've got a battery percentage as well as some time there. So what's nice about that is the fact that if I start ripping it hard, like I'm in sports mode now, you see that percent go down, but more crucially, the time goes down. And that just lets me know that, hey, you're ripping it hard. You only got about 5 minutes left till this drone starts to it's gonna auto descend earlier than that, but you only got about 5 minutes left till this drone completely falls out of the sky. If I slow down or throw it back into normal mode, what you'll notice probably is that number is starting to go up. Yep, 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes battery life. Yep, we're at 8 minutes now. Battery life goes up. So that's great. You don't have to worry about voltage drops. You don't have to worry about, oh, is the battery gonna blow up on me when it's charging? These are intelligent batteries. They don't fall out of this. They don't, you know, blow up. They don't catch fire, or at least not anywhere near as easy as other LiPo batteries and other FPV drones do. So for that kind of stuff, this thing is awesome. So that being said, I'll throw it back to sports mode. I'll get some altitude here. Still very hazy. And The last thing I'll show you guys before I head in for this video is the manual mode. So notice we're really high, we're pretty high up right now, altitude of 280 feet. So obviously being diligent of any other aircraft. Skies are clear as can be for Canadian wildfires, nice and hazy still, but that's fine. And now I'm gonna go on the remote, flip this into manual mode, and what you'll notice on my screen is that I have to center the joysticks before it even unlocks manual mode. So now that I center the joysticks, it says you've switched to manual mode. Now I have full control, including full speeds, no limitations, and you'll notice very quickly that my battery life drops. But now that I'm in manual mode, I gotta be careful that I don't accidentally go too far down, because then the drone starts falling out of the sky. I've also got to make sure I don't accidentally tip and get lost, because then I fall. So that being said, manual mode is really fun, but you've really got to get your fingers under control, and you've got to really watch your battery life, because it's very easy for your battery life to just drop out of nowhere, and then you're left with low battery and your drone auto lands, which is a safety feature. It's great, but you just got to be careful and diligent about that. So that being said, let's do some dives. You can probably hear the whistling of my motors. Yep, manual mode is really fun. You clock in much higher speeds, 40 miles per hour there, but then you see the little arrow saying that I'm out of or getting low on battery. So, yep, low battery level. I'm gonna do one more quick shot here. You can kind of see the sun. It's all the way down there in the horizon. Got 1 minute left. What we'll do is a simple barrel roll. I'll throttle down, throw the horizon, and then catch it on the way out. All right, it's probably enough manual mode for today. And manual mode's a lot faster. You get unlocked full speed. You gotta be really diligent, really careful with the controls. I'd recommend put in a lot of time into the simulator before doing something like this. It's very easy to get disoriented and lose control. So I'm gonna flip it back into sports mode. And now my fingers are off the throttles. It's kind of just hovering there. It's a lot easier. We got the auto return to home coming up soon, so it's gonna take control of my drone. And that's one of the downsides of this drone is if you're flying, you're in the middle of a cool shot like that, you know, we're spinning around the Christmas tree, let's just say. Boom. It hijacks my controls and it starts flying upward. Cool thing is, if you hit the pause button, it'll stop the return to home. But I can't even tell you how many times I was in the middle of a shoot, like a house tour or something, and I was just, you know, flying through a room, doing a super smooth shot like this, and then going into another shot, and then out of nowhere, boom, it takes control, it pauses, it starts flying upwards towards the ceiling. There's always a little moment of panic there, and then I hit the pause button, it stops for a split second, and then keeps moving. So it's happened before, happened a lot of times. It is a downside of having smart batteries. In reality, what's happening is the batteries are just saving themselves. They don't want you to over throttle them or, you know, burn them into the ground or break them for that matter. So they're just doing their job. It's one of the little gimmicks about having a smart drone battery. That being said, got about 1.5 minutes of juice left in the battery. And what you'll notice is that is 1.5 minutes is actually a crazy amount of time compared to most FPV drones. Most FPV drones within 4 to 5 minutes, battery's depleted and you're basically screwed. So another cool thing is the big H right there shows you where the home point is. It's really cool. We are getting down to critically low battery, which means it's gonna start to auto land in 3, 2, 1 second. And once it gets to critical battery, it doesn't even fly upwards, it starts to land. You can still override it by throttling up like I'm doing right now, but the moment I let go, it really starts to push down. So at this point, I'm fighting pretty hard with the drone just to be able to keep it upward. So there you guys are on my little tripod. Hopefully the sound still works. There we are right there. What's up? And we'll go in for the landing. Since we've got 25, 24, 23 seconds of battery. Boom. And we're done. Very nice. Whew. Wow, my eyes gotten really adjusted to the weather. But yeah, this thing's great. I've had so much fun over the years flying this. Definitely recommend it, especially for those of you who are doing house tours. As I mentioned, I've done tons of house tours with these. Watch a couple of my videos, you'll see. This thing's great, love it. Obviously not perfect, but honestly, for the price, for the amount of features you get, for the quality of transmission, this thing is really good quality transmission, really good goggles, good battery life, especially if you get the Fly More kit. Overall, super nice drone. Almost 10 out of 10, let's just say 9 out of 10, would recommend. So if you want to pick one up, link in description. As you know, those are affiliate links. No pressure, you don't want to pick it up or you don't want to use my link, totally cool with that. But love this drone, flown it for years. It's an awesome little beast. All right, take care.